everybody, it's Rydo, and we're back to Hearthstone. And I promise not to distract myself on this episode if you saw the last episode. I played a little bit offline, actually played quite a bit. So now all we have to do for this episode is win 2 Shaman games and 1 Warrior game, so that shouldn't be that bad. As far as I didn't want to go to a 3rd episode. There was probably time and enough games. There just wasn't enough will. With the grand tournament, I may not be doing a ton of new extra episodes. It will be new cards, surely, but I think for the most part,
for Doomhammer,
there's no real reason that I could see as to why I would intentionally do a bunch of extra episodes. We'll do the opening 50 packs episode, and
job's done.
We'll probably do a grand tournament available to out now episode, and maybe those should be the same episode. No, those probably shouldn't be the same episodes, actually, come to think of it. Because people will be searching both terms, hopefully. But beyond that, I'm not sure what. I could do a episode for each character. And then I could do an episode for the neutral cards. Yeah, that would work. Let's see, oh, that works well. This card. And so that's up to like 7 extra episodes. And I don't know, they're not going to be extra episodes, they're just going to be extra work that I'll put out as soon as I have them ready to go. And I don't think I can really do anything more at that point. No, I can do deck rebuild. So we'll show off the new cards, and then for each character we'll do a deck rebuild. And so that can double up. So yeah, I can see that's 18, 19, 20. Yeah, that's about 20. I've taken too long to, honestly, to be recording this episode. I have been just bad. Not really accomplished anything except for playing Fallout Shelter, which is again going a little bit better now, but I've found out that you basically have to have somebody in every room or the rooms will start on fire. It seems like. But I'm growing my group of people and filling up the shelter. One of the things that you have to get to 60 people before you can get the like casino place that will increase the luck. Luck in particular is something you would want at max for every character that's running every single room, because that's the only way you can really squeeze a game out of this thing is by let's see. is by just having enough luck that you'll win most rushes, so you can sit there and rush lots of rooms. So it's real. Probably after a week of playing it, there might actually be some gameplay in there, but at the beginning there's almost nothing. It begs for like a tutorial mode. It begs for a pre-built mode where you start off with you could start off with pre-built vaults, or at least somewhat halfway assembled vaults. So there's at least some kind of chance. Hey, this one's gonna have what? This is gonna do 4. I probably can just win from a bloodlust here. But yeah, slow starting on Fallout Shelter, and slow starting on getting work done.
I've got a huge
It's real hard to keep up the mental pressure when you know you're ahead. So I kind of understand it. I get it. It's hard to tell yourself, I really need to get this stuff done, when in the back of your head you're thinking to yourself, no, I really don't. I have a month worth of videos subscribed. I can set that stuff up later. But that's not really the point. The point is to get it all locked and loaded, have a nice schedule ready to go, so that I can potentially add more series being released in a day, or perhaps something else. So we killed this, and then hit him in the face, and oh, darn Fury. I thought that would have worked, but no, they got summoning sickness again. Darn it. So Wind Fury doesn't work, Resurrection will. I have a hard time seeing how I'm not going to win this next turn. But I am at 11, so if he can do 10 damage. So it's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. He may feel secure. He doesn't know I have Bloodlust. I'm just waiting to run it. Okay. This, and for my final trick, this. Okay, smallest thing is this. We don't even need that. Didn't even let me finish. Oh, I always think that's over. Personally, I just think it's a little weird. Let the people have their victory. Okay, so that was Shaman. Let's play as the warrior now. So, if we get lucky and win this, and we win the Shaman game after this, we will be done with this episode, and it will be a little bit faster.
Garrosh versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Victory
You know,
or death!
if they really came out and said, you know what, we're just going to change the quest system. We're gonna make it so you don't have to play every 3 days. You're gonna get a new quest once a week, and if you complete that quest, it's going to give you a pack of cards and maybe a small amount of gold and maybe a small amount of dust. I would
Battle detected.
almost certainly be more happy with that.
Battle detected.
If they did do something like that, which they probably wouldn't, but they might. I don't know why they would do it, because that would actually be discouraging people to play, and it does kind of sound silly. Why would you be discouraging people to play? So I'm gonna go a little strange here. Do this, and then do this.
Battle commencing. Battle commencing.
Strange choice, but it worked. I could certainly record once a week, play 5 games, and break each
We
episode
must
into
cleanse
one
the
game.
Sunwell.
I would probably have to learn to limit myself a lot more in conversation.
Battle commencing.
And be more substantive
Battle commencing.
and less rambly. I wish I could also stop saying and as much as I do.
Yes!
It sucks. It's really bad. And I'm sure other people that do like pre-recorded podcasts and things like that, I'm sure they go in there and they edit things. And that's why you don't really hear those type of things. But for me, it's because the audio is usually somewhat tied to the video. It would be a difficult process. There's no quick Audacity plugin that I know of that can just recognize when you say or and mute that. Yeah. So what you can do if you just have the audio, though, is you cut it out. So if I said I am Rydo, I could go into the audio thing and just take out all the O's, and it would sound I am Rydo, and people would sound pretty succinct. I can't even stop saying in this conversation. It's so terrible. Also, though, people tend to have a different voice. People usually have a few voices, and when you're reading off a script, or you're trying to do the announcer voice, that whatever the announcer voice is in your head,
Battle commencing.
that ends up
Battle
changing how
commencing.
you sound too. Well,
Job's done.
oops, I just accidentally clicked on the something on the Hearthstone deck tracker, so it's probably not accurate anymore. Let's see, I'll click on Flesh Eating Ghoul and see what happens. maybe nothing. Maybe things moved around. Seems like things moved around. I've moved it to this side on the right, and I haven't had that problem yet. But we'll have to keep in mind not to do that.
It's time for a little blood.
The only thing is that the end button is right about here is as far as I can click. I can't really see the decks, but I can put the mouse over the Hearthstone deck tracker to see how many cards you have, because it pops up the number a little bit further to the left, and then everything else that might be over here I can't see. But there's barely anything over there, so it doesn't matter. Nobody wants to attack this dragon egg. Can't say I blame them. Right. This, and then turn.
Job's done.
I don't think I'm gonna win this one. It's early. But I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling a victory coming down my path. Right there. Darn the luck.
Pass me that arc light spanner.
Alright, let's see if we can do this.
Running.
Kill this.
Hug.
See what the random true thing is. Okay. Summon this. And then do this.
Everyone, get in here!
And end the turn. If only I had another whirlwind.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
But I'm still not feeling this
Pass
victory.
me that arc light spanner.
So nobody really knows what Google basically reorganized and is trying to call is gonna trade as and go under the parent company of by the name of Alphabet. Nobody really knows what that all is gonna mean, but my guess is probably not as much as you would. I don't know if that's really going to change YouTube at all.
What you looking at?
I think what it might do is it might give YouTube the opportunity, and only really the opportunity, to fix many of its back-end problems and work on that. And when I say it gives them the opportunity and only gives them the opportunity, I mean the door has always been open, but they have to walk through it. And the history of YouTube in the past is that they haven't wanted to really do any work. The Google in general has always been YouTube was invented before Google, but Google in general policy has always been everything has to be automated. We don't do customer service. We don't make exceptions for any cases. We don't really customize anything for anybody, and they don't generally make their back-end services very usable or helpful, which is kind of funny considering they have Gmail and that is pretty useful.
For Doomhammer.
You could speculate that there might be just too many cooks in the kitchen at Google, that too many people who are all very smart and they know it, and they've all got differing opinions, and so it's hard to have go in one direction without 5 other people saying let's do something different that might just be as good, which is usually a unique problem. Usually there's just 5 bad ideas at Google. There might be 5 really great ideas, but you can't do them all, and if you try to do them all, you're going to make a mess. I think they've had some weirdness with like Google Plus, their attempt to make Google Plus a social media, and then honestly I don't even blame them for why it didn't succeed. I just think people won't move off Facebook, regardless of what Facebook does, how awful it is, how terribly privacy stricken it is. They're not going to go to Google Plus, even if they had managed to integrate it directly into your Gmail. You had it. They did as much as they possibly could, trying to integrate it into all their services and make it a decent thing, and it is a decent service. It's just getting the people there. I'm not even sure Twitter is really going to ever take off. Twitter's a different thing than Facebook. People just don't want to change. So honestly what they should have done is they should have just bought Facebook if they could. If they had any opportunity whatsoever, they should just Androids, like every new version of Android does a new facade on its stock Android, which I haven't liked a single way, and it's easy for me to forget it, but I have not liked a single default layout of Android.
I hope you like my invention.
I always go into it, I always install ADW launcher, I always remap, change the buttons, change as many different things as I can, and make it look drastically and behaves drastically different from what a normal person's experience of Android is. And I guess I never told them this is how I do it, but some of the things I do are just obvious, like you swipe up to open the app drawer on my phone. There's no button, there's no special anything, you just swipe up because that just is how I logically think it should work. Give a friendly guy win. Is he about to beat me? Alright, let's do this.
Feel the power that wins.
And do 10 to the face. The settings are the only thing in Lollipop that you can't change, and I didn't like that they changed. It's the same for Android as it is for Windows, really. I want Windows to look exactly like Windows 95, run faster, better, smoother, and have just underlying features that have but I still want it to look like Windows 95. If you're gonna put a very subtle polish on it, that's fine, but I don't want drastic layout changes. I don't want things to look or feel any different. I just want the same. Okay, so we only have to get one warrior win. Now? Come on, warrior, you can do it. And that's the same for Android. I want Android to look exactly like it did when I had the G1, which was the first Android phone. In fact, I even want the little thumb trackball. Oh, I thought that was kind of a cool feature on the G1. And there are definitely people that want keyboards.
Soul shall be mine. Victory or death.
I can almost buy the argument of if you want a keyboard, just get a Bluetooth keyboard. But they want it built into the phone, so. And I've never seen like a Bluetooth keyboard that's on the back of a phone that would snap to the back of the phone and always be with it. But yeah, I was a big user of Google Newsreader, and that got canceled just for no real reason. They said not very many people were using it, but that is like the worst reason to ever stop doing something. It broke tons of RSS.
Battle detected.
For me, I had to do a lot of work just because they stopped supporting their product. The Gmail revamped new interface, priority inbox garbage, not wanted, not desired, don't use it. I mean, just don't want change. I just don't want change. It's silly, I'm sure, but that's how it works with me. Right. This. And then this.
Battle commencing.
Kill this one. Maybe I'll get this kind of face. Oh, I played a little bit more of the Magic Duels on Steam, and it literally started crashing. So I uninstalled it. It was awful. It was so buggy, and I'm sure when you're playing other people, you probably don't run into any bugs, and that's really all it's for. But if you can't even make it through the tutorial without it popping up a pop-up and saying, hey, there's a special thing we want you to learn, and so click here. I accidentally clicked there. It took me to a bugged out thing that you could not win. I finally had to hit escape, which by the way, no button to get to the menu anywhere, which is a little bit of a problem considering they're wasting so much screen space in the Magic Duels app anyways. But I had to hit escape, I had to concede the game. I conceded that mini game, it took me back to the main story game, and then I had already forgotten I was in the main story game at that point because I didn't realize I'd gone into another one. And so then I tried to play the game again, and it started crashing, just crashing straight up for a card game. Completely unacceptable. So there's my review for Magic Duels. It's a piece of garbage app. I would not play it. And we are done. We are at 600 gold extra already. That is nice. It would be nice if we could have a considerable amount, even maybe 1,000 gold before even the grand tournament unlocks. At this point they have shown, or allegedly at least they've shown all the cards, but I want to wait till it unlocks so I can go in the apps. The thing I want to do is I want to be able to click here, click the grand tournament, which should be here, down below, and after that, we can go through each one. Let's see. This is a promo card, which I guess you can just create. If you had 400 dust, I mean, it seems like it's saying you can just make it. Interesting. And this is a promo card, and it seems you can make it. That's kind of nice. I would hate to find that there aren't any cards that you can't craft. Interesting, you can't. There are no Nexramus cards according to this. Really? No, there are Nexramus cards, you just can't craft any of them because you just got them. And Goblins vs. Gnomes cards, of course, you can craft. And Blackrock Mountain, again, can't craft any of those cards. So you only get those by buying those adventures. So for the grand tournament, there will be more than 2 cards for each character. And even if there was only like 3 or 4 cards instead of what I'm suspecting will be about 8 cards for each character, I'm still probably going to end up doing a video for each one, so just to have more. So even here with Goblins vs. Gnomes, 4 cards, just to break things up and have more videos. The more videos, the more terms. As long as the terms are accurate, describing what's actually on the video, I'm fine with that. We're not going to open the packs until we open the grand tournament things, because I just think that will be kind of fun. And so we're done with this episode. I probably already said that. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me, you can click on my name Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media, there's a bunch of links down below. Follow me on Google+, even though nobody really goes on it. That doesn't mean you can't use it. Maybe the next generation of people will go on Google+ and avoid their grandparents that way. Of course, I think people do that with Snapchat and other services, but alright. So still follow me on that service. I'm sure it will make Google or Alphabet now happy at least. And I'm gonna automatically post videos there until YouTube stops doing that by default. Anywho, thanks for watching. Have a good evening.